ADHD Babes, the podcast. A podcast hosted by the ADHD Babes community for the community. Join us every 2 weeks to share in our babes' personal experiences, gain useful tools, and be educated by special guests in topics such as ADHD management, relationships, general well-being, tech and fun, culture, and more. Please note, nothing mentioned during the podcast is meant as a diagnosis. If you believe you have ADHD, please seek professional advice and visit or join ADHDbabes.com for help with diagnosis. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. And now, you're listening to the next episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. Today's episode is hosted by me, Shereen, and we're going to be discussing the relationship between ADHD, gaming, and how it creates the perfect environment for rewarding hyperfocus heaven. I'm absolutely head over heels in love with gaming, clocking in about maybe 10 plus years, and I was also diagnosed with ADHD this year, which was a shock, but it totally makes sense, so yeah. Gaming has been a huge part of my self-care and it's been there for me through a lot of hard times. I can hyper-focus for hours playing, yet everyday small tasks can be a big no-no, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Joining in on the discussion, we have Jahdai and Minxie, who are fellow ADHD Babes community members as well as gamers.
Hello, I'm Jahdai.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Minxie.
It's lovely to meet you both, and thank you for joining me on the first gaming episode. Firstly, I'm going to start by explaining what ADHD hyperfocus is. Most people think that those with ADHD can't focus, but that's not entirely true. We can when we enjoy the task and when we get stuck into hyperfocus. This is when you happen to be so engrossed in tasks or hobbies, just things you really, really enjoy, which ends up releasing dopamine. And us ADHDers, we really do lack dopamine. So our brains go, yeah, this is great. Give me more. Give me all the dopamine. I need it now. It also means you can spend hours upon hours lost in your own world and forget about the more important things you need to do or day-to-day chores. On the subject of hyperfocusing, what are your favourite games that you feel that you've experienced this with? And in what way did it affect you, your well-being and your gaming experience?
Well, for me, like recently as well, Genshin Impact has been a game that I played a lot. And it eats up my hours. I had another one in mind. Oh, I liked Ace Attorney as well. Playing that, I kind of like speed ran through that whole thing because it hooked me in.
Yeah, I totally remember those games because Ace Impact is that's the lawyer one, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, Ace Attorney.
Yeah. Oh, I loved that one. I love like crime shows and stuff, so it was really, really fun to play. But also the Genshin Impact that you mentioned, like my little sister, like she loves that and she showed me and it's so pretty, but I really do need to try it, but I've not tried it yet.
I suppose for me, it's like I only want to play a little bit and then the time kind of disappears. And it's always at the worst times as well if I'm like avoiding something.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
totally
when it really catches on. So
I'll just play for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose to answer how they affect me and my well-being, I'd say I'm okay at managing it for the most part, but it does cause a lot of late nights, and I suppose sleep is the thing that the biggest impact that comes from that.
Yeah, that is so relatable. You look at it and it's like 5 p.m. Next minute it's like 5 a.m, and you're like, wait, what? What happened?
Yep.
Yeah, for me, like it does happen. It used to happen a lot more when I was a kid. Like my first gaming love was The Sims.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
God knows you can lose hours into a Sims game. So I would easily spend like 6 to 8 hours a day as a kid on The Sims and like skip meals and maybe push the bathroom breaks to the last limit possible.
Yeah.
So I would definitely tunnel vision into like The Sims as a kid. As I've grown up, I try to like do preventive measures in a way. Like I try to really avoid putting myself in a situation where I'll tunnel vision and then impact my next day for work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still does happen, unfortunately, because yeah.
But gaming's awesome. So like, how can you not get lost in it? Like, there's
Right,
just so many
exactly.
different places you can just go and like lose yourself into. It's amazing. But like, I would say for me, it would have been lockdown 2020 when The Last of Us 2 came out. And I absolutely loved that game because I played the first one and absolutely loved it. So it's like a horror survival game. And one thing that I really enjoyed about this, well, actually, there's many things, is that I absolutely love horror survival game, and it has a strong female lead who is a lesbian. Also, it has other characters who are LGBTQ as well, like on the spectrum as well, which I absolutely loved that. It has POC characters, and it also deals with mental health, which, just listing all those things alone, I don't think you find that in many games. And I just found it so relatable. And I'm kind of not surprised that the combination of those things had me hooked as a queer Black woman gamer with ADHD, depression, and anxiety. So I played it every day until I completed it and forgot about everything I was meant to be doing that week. The Hyperfocus just really hit me hard. And I forgot stuff like appointments, chores, to eat, hydrate. But game-wise, it kind of became like this new world that I was in. And it became like a thing where I have this thing where I have to find like all of the Easter eggs. And if I miss one, I'm like, no, can I go back? No, you can't go back. There's so many times where I've quit a game just so I could go back to try and get the Easter egg. But yeah, so it becomes about like Easter eggs and then like finding all the loot and making sure I'm stocked on like guns and ammo, etc. Because I'm the type of person where I'm like, I can't leave anything behind. What if I need it later? But I don't know if you two have that as well, because like
absolutely,
you always get limited space and you're like, oh my god, what can I keep? What can I not keep?
Yeah, no, that's why I really like Genshin, is the inventory so far just seems infinite. So I'm just like, yep, I'll just take everything with me.
loot.
Infinite inventory. That is wow. Wow, you don't actually have to leave anything behind. I would love that luxury. That sounds amazing.
I'm sure there is probably a limit, but everyone's told me that it's hard to actually reach it, and so far that's proved true.
Probably have to loot like for like hours upon hours. Like,
was it like a really massive game? So it's kind of just like loads of loot and stuff to find.
Yeah, no, it's a huge game. It's open world, so
yeah, right.
You can
and
go
they continuously
everywhere.
update, right? There's always updates.
Yeah,
so there's always
it's not even close to being finished.
Oh wow. Just imagine the possibilities of even more things you can find later when you get it. Like seriously.
Playing.
But I don't know like about you two, but another bit that I really like is when, like, because I play on PlayStation, so I really like it that when I'm playing along, when you get that PlayStation trophy on the side of your screen that you've unlocked, and it's like, you've unlocked this specific achievement, and then I'm like, ding, 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 yes. And I feel like, and I just feel like, it's like I'm doing something right, and I need/get that confirmation of doing something right, which then makes me get like a rush of dopamine and I feel really good about it. And I just find it really rewarding to be told that I am doing good things, especially if they're rare trophies as well. Because you know how they have have like the percentage of how many people have achieved that trophy. And when you get it, you're like,
You're like, oh, I'm one of the special
But
ones.
yes,
I made it
I am the
there.
best.
Yes.
I'm the best, yeah, totally.
I've definitely been conditioned by the Xbox achievement sound. Like if I hear it somewhere, I'm more like, oh, like what's happening?
Yeah.
And then when you get like it's the equivalent from the PlayStation. I have both.
Yeah.
Like the diamond or like the rarer ones. I'm always like, oh, I got a diamond achievement. Okay, like nothing serious, but also like so hype at the same time. Yes.
I know, right? Because like I know also on consoles they kind of like you get points and tallies for how many like trophies you achieve, and you're just like, yeah, I've gone up another level. Oh, I've got another level to go up. I've got another level to go up, and then it's kind of like just a never-ending like chasing thing. But I'm sorry, I've got to love those achievements. I love them so much.
Yeah, no, I get a similar thing. I'll like forget that there's like achievements and things that I could get, and then I'll accidentally get one, and then it's like, okay, time to look. Which else can I do right now?
Yeah. And then you like go onto the internet where like everyone's listed the specific trophies, and then you're like, okay, so I need to do this and this to get this, and you're like, okay, I can do this. Can I do this in the speed run? Probably not, but I'll try.
This is like suddenly chasing all the achievements right now.
And it's like, we don't need all the achievements. We can get them in time. We don't need them all now, but we want them now.
It's funny because I'm the opposite of like achievement chaser. I get them accidentally and I'm all like, woo, and then I forget about them again completely until the next one. Yeah. I'm really not a completionist in terms of games. Like I'm very much a game hopper in that sense. So I'm never gonna I don't think I've ever completed a game to 100% actually. But yeah.
I may have done that a couple times, but it's been like games where like everyone could get 100%. So I'm not being serious about it. I just wish that I could have all the achievements. But yeah.
Yeah, because when you're talking about the Easter eggs, I'm like, that is so tedious for me. But there's other parts that I'm like, yeah, I want to do all of this.
So as well as ADHD, I also have depression and anxiety and chronic pain. So I find like trying to manage all of this, there will be times where my body and my brain will just take a massive dip. I'll just crash, just won't be feeling great. And then all I want to do is just go and lose myself in a virtual world of my choosing. If or when you are in a similar fragile position, is gaming the first thing you'll reach for, and does your gaming genre change from your usual gaming style?
I would say that for me, gaming is something that like, okay, how would I say that? You know how you associate songs to people and then that person becomes, and then now it's a bad memory, that the song is just like a triggering to the bad. I feel like I'm worried that by going for gaming and in bad mental states, I'll end up like associating it to like a negative more experience. So I tend to avoid doing that.
Right, okay.
But there is such like specific types of situations where gaming is exactly what I need at that moment. So the best example I can give is during my diagnosis process for my ADHD diagnosis. Between the last assessment appointment and the final report appointment, there was a 3-week period. And that 3-week period, I was like stuck in my head, looping, like, oh, what if I'm an imposter? But I didn't get this right. Oh, but I got this right. I don't know. Like, am I actually, and so it's just looping for 3 weeks. And not only was I stuck in my head, but that meant I was also frozen in action because I would just never get out of my head. I was just, and you're not doing much if you're just thinking about a specific situation. And anyways, in those kind of situations, that's when I reach out to gaming, because that's when I need a certain disconnect with myself.
Yeah.
But I know that there's like a finish line or like an end date. Like so it's semi-controlled-ish.
Mm.
Like 3 weeks of full-time gaming, like I don't always do that, but like
Yeah.
if it means that I'm keeping myself like sane at that moment, I'll do it,
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Like it's
Yeah.
short term instead of an ongoing, indefinite situation.
Yeah. Because like I also have anxiety and I've like lifelong of depression, and like those ebbs and flows of those emotions, like they come, and sometimes like I don't know when they end, and sometimes it's a few days of like a feeling of a big crash, or it's a few months, and I try to like limit how far I invest in my gaming during those periods of time, because it can quickly like get off the rails or the train tracks, or I don't know what the saying is, but
Yeah, like you don't want
yes.
to rely on that as a coping mechanism the whole time.
Well, it derails really easily until like, oh well, let's just order food and play, and let's just do this and then and now like things start stacking up. But I know that's not the same for everybody, but like having been there, I'm like, ooh, I shall not do that.
So
Yeah.
I'd say you seem kind of a bit more aware of it in a way.
I would say yeah.
I'm complete opposite. I'm complete opposite. Like total opposite. How about you, Jahdai?
I think for me, it's like for some reason I need to be at a certain energy level to even be able to play games, or like because if I'm too drained and feeling like horrible, it's like I don't have energy for anything but laying on my bed or laying on the sofa just watching like
Agreed.
TV or something.
Agreed.
So it's kind of at that midpoint where I'm like I'm feeling too tired to do anything that requires like intense thinking, but I can chill out and do something that still means being active even if it's just my fingers pressing buttons. But yeah, so like at the moment I'd say I'm at kind of at that midpoint where I've started playing Genshin again recently just because I'm drained. I've been really busy these past like few months, but I'm not drained to the point where I can't get myself to do anything, but I'm like nearly there. But in terms of like genres, they didn't really change. Like I don't know. I suppose I'm more drawn to kind of passive games where I don't have to work out puzzles or anything. If I'm low energy. But other than that, like I kind of stick to the same things because for some reason I'm really particular with what actually keeps my attention for a long time.
Yeah, because I'm like kind of trying to think because I haven't been doing too great for a while, and I'm trying to think what have I been playing. I've kind of mostly been playing like battle royale style games, so like Call of Duty online and like Fortnite and stuff, which I never thought I'd play. But yeah, I've been playing that. So I find like because it's I don't know, I just never thought I'd play it. Like I don't know, like just why, but somehow it happened because I was convinced and now I can't stop, and it's just like, why did you do this to me? You know who you are. So so I was gonna say, yeah, so I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I kind of like the battle royale style because like you can also play solo, but you can also like play with other people. But then like doing it solo, you can kind of just zone in and you just know that all you have to do is try and survive and kill other players. It's kind of pretty easy to do, other than like if it was like a story-based game or whatever. that sounds really bad, but you're trying to get to the number one spot so you can like get all the experience points and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, like I find like when I'm in a really bad place, that is kind of what I'm playing at the moment, because it's just so easy to pick it up, log in, you start in the game, you know that you have 100 people to beat, and just keep doing it, repeating it. It's just really easy to pick up. Like, you don't have to remember, oh, what happened last week? It's not a TV show.
Yeah. You know what you mean?
Yeah, what
No, I
happened,
get that a lot.
Yeah.
And
I
then there's this
definitely
one
get
game
that
that
a lot.
I hate when you forget everything that you've done in a game and you're trying to pick it back up. That is the worst thing.
Yeah.
I recently loaded up an old save of No Man's Sky, a like 1-year-old game, and I was just like, oh, it's gonna be easy. It's a survival game, whatever. And I showed up and I was like, what am I doing? What was I doing? Where am I? Oh my God, am I being raided? I'm being raided. Oh, and then I'm like, I don't even know how to shoot anymore. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna exit this game, start a new game, tutorial a little bit, and then come back. Because wow, yeah, no.
That's going so well.
And also when like the other games have different controls, so you're used to this button doing that button, and then you switch over and you're like, yeah, okay, my brain can't handle this. I'm just gonna quit right now because no.
Oh my God, yeah. I started on console and I loaded up the game on PC.
Oh,
and I had never
God.
touched it on PC, and I was just like, oh, where's my gun? Like
that is the worst transition as well.
Oh yeah, or PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, like switching from like those, like the back is the select and then the select is back. I've accidentally deleted things like that off my consoles from switching from PlayStation or Xbox to Nintendo.
Oh no. And then you lose all that progress. Oh no. Oh no. My next question, when you take time out to play a game, do you prefer it to be a solo activity, or do you have like friends you play with, or do you kind of just sometimes play with randoms? What would be your favorite and why?
Solo, I would say. Solo, story-driven, single-player games is usually what I go for. Actually, when I'm feeling low, but I am playing video games, I'll usually play like an online game, but with specific friends, like people that I know. I don't tend to play online games with like open servers or like with randoms coming into the game, because you know things can get unpredictable on the online gaming world, especially as like, you know, queer Black women, or, you know, femmes, and
yeah, it can get quite toxic, unfortunately.
Right. And so I've avoided that pretty much all my life. And so if I'm taking time for myself and I'm feeling good, I'm gonna go like pull up like a open world action RPG with like hundreds of hours for me to like put in. Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'm similar with that, I'd say. Even playing with like close friends, it still requires a certain level of energy compared to solo games. So
absolutely,
even if it's a game that I do like to play solo, like if I'll play with my friends for a while, and then I kind of get this like this feeling of like I need to just do it by myself, please.
Yeah. What ends up happening to me is that like I mute myself, and then I go into the zone of like gaming, and then they're like, Minxie, where are you? And I'm like, unmute on my SteelSeries headset too, and I'm like,
yeah. I've never really played on like open servers with random people except for Among Us, but that even
How did that go?
It was fine. I mean, this was really at the beginning, so everyone just kind of played properly. I do remember a few times I was playing with my friends on Among Us, but like because you can have it's up to 15 now, I think, but it was up to 10 players then. And if I only had a few friends playing, we'd like start a private one and then open it to the public so that other people come in, and then we'd just like basically be cheating because we'd be talking to each other while everyone else is playing as normal and just troll them.
No.
That was funny. But yeah, no, generally
I love that.
It's funny. But yeah, no, I've not really played games like there's one of my friends plays, well, some of them play Valorant, and they'll be on call, and they'll like, one of my male friends would like trick people into thinking that he's a girl. and have all their players like treat them differently because of it.
Oh no.
I mean, it can be a good strategy. In some games, it gets you free and good loot. In other games, it gets you harassed.
Yeah.
Sometimes both. Both at the same time.
That's why I stay away from that.
Swings and roundabouts. But yeah, I can totally understand like how both of you feel about gaming in when you're in that fragile state. Like, totally makes sense. I'm trying to think about what I do. I'd say, like, as I mentioned before, like I find games like Call of Duty Warzone and Fortnite with no build. That is the only way I will play it. My ADHD cannot do building. No, thank you. So, so with those games, I love the fact that you can play solo with friends or with randoms in teams. And I found it's also been a great way to also make new gamer friends as well, which is awesome. But then, as you said before, Minxie, is that it is kind of like swings and roundabouts. Like, you never know who you're going to get. And if you are not feeling too great, just having that one toxic person can just
derail,
just kill it for you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, I'm done. This was meant to be my place where I can go focus, relax, just do something for me. And then this person comes along and it's just like, so yeah, I totally get it. But yeah, I'd say like what I kind of like about those two games. Also, you can mute people. I love the mute button. Mute button is a good feature. They can hear you, but you can't hear them. It's great. And they won't know. You can just keep talking and they can talk their trash. And you're like, I hear nothing.
I don't care.
Doesn't matter. I'm all good.
Peaceful.
So yeah, like with the Battle Royale style games, I like that it means that every game is never the same, but I also quite like the competitiveness of it as well, because like everyone's trying to get like the most kills, use tactics to kind of like outsmart each other, try to get to like the number one victory spot. So I kind of find that those kind of like games where you're kind of like fighting for the top spot, I will actually really get into Hyperfocus, because I'm like, right, I've got to be wary of everything. I want to do this well. I want to win. Let's get this. But you get more chances to start again, so it's okay. But yeah, it can be very daunting. But I do find that I do like those when I'm feeling a bit rubbish, because also when I get to the number one spot and I surprise myself, I'm like, oh, like I was playing Fortnite solos yesterday, and I got the number one spot 2 times, like in a row, and I was like, oh my god, it's never gonna happen again. It's never gonna happen again. But I was just so proud of myself, and a little notification.
You can say it happened.
Yeah, that's true. When you find yourself in long gaming sessions, are there basic body needs that you forget about because you're completely locked into a game? Like, I know for a fact that I will do things like forget to go to the bathroom, I'll forget to hydrate, I'll forget to eat, get a good night's sleep, which already has been mentioned, which I know people with ADHD can often do. Do you experience any of these similar situations, which I know like one has kind of been mentioned already, but are there like any more that you might have? Or things that you kind of forget to do when you're just so hyper-focused into like the game?
My number one like thing that just takes the side is my hydration. If I don't prepare a bottle of water like on my desk that's full and ready to sip on, I will not get up and get water or juice or anything to drink. And even if I get up, I'll probably go straight to the bathroom and then run back to the computer. completely skip the kitchen part, you know. So yes, I absolutely that happens, and I try to avoid it because you know when you're young, you know you're 8, you're 10 years old, not eating, not sleeping, it's not so
Yeah,
bad,
it's
right?
okay.
I feel whatever. Let's do it for 2 weeks in a row, no problem. As an adult, it feels like a lot more expensive. Like the impact on the body and on like the mental health, or like even just like sleep schedule at work. You know, like we have bills. Like, so I try to avoid it. Try is a keyword here, but yeah. Sometimes those gaming sessions are like you're like, you know, those games where they give you like a boss battle that's like 45 minutes long and like multi-stage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, games like that, you easily like hours upon hours without stopping because it's just like go, go, go. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because if
I
you
hate
quit
them as
it,
well.
sorry, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say I hate it as well because it doesn't feel like it's 45 minutes, but you see the clock after. It's like,
Yeah.
let's say.
But then it's like you've got to include like the amount of times you died as well, because also with like the boss battles that you've mentioned, it's like when you finally get to like this certain checkpoint and you're like, yeah, great, done it, and they're like, oh, wait a second, we've got another gift for you,
And
round
like,
2, and you're like, no, and you're like,
you have no more health potions because you thought you were good, like.
Yeah. No, I had that recently. That was pain.
Because then it's like you can't leave because you're like, I have to get this done. Because what if I turn everything off and then I have to start this all again?
All over again? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
So you just feel stuck because I know that I am so bad with going to the bathroom. It's really bad that I actually get told off for it. And it's just a simple thing that we should be able to do, like just eat, just remember to hydrate. But like especially when we're not in a great place or we just need a break and we're really, really hyper focusing on the game that we're playing, just everything goes out of the window and we have ADHD and we can't help it. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of, yeah, I don't know. I've definitely had I've been told off quite a few times because people are just like, it's a simple thing that everyone does and you should be doing every day, like just do it, but it's not as simple as just doing it or remembering
like,
to
how
do
about
it.
you try it?
Yeah.
How about you try it, huh? Like
yeah, it's not that simple. But
right.
I came across someone on Reddit that said that what they do is like they'll game for 35 minutes like every morning, but they'll make like a cup of coffee first. And what they'll do is they'll play for 35 minutes or they'll play until the coffee is gone. And then that's kind of like their reminder of when to stop. But they said it helps, they've kind of felt like it helps sharpen their brain to kind of get them ready for the day, but it's also something that they really enjoy. So if it does nothing else, it also helps them relax, which I found quite interesting that that's their like process of just getting their gaming in and starting their day like on a good foot and just making sure that they don't really, really get into hyper focus and then just like end up being late to work, all that sort of stuff, just forgetting stuff. And I quite like that idea.
It sounds like a good idea, but I tend to forget my coffee sometimes. So what happens if my coffee goes cold and my 35-minute window is now an hour because I didn't finish my coffee and I didn't notice?
No.
I didn't think about that because my tea goes cold all the time.
Right?
My tea is cold right now.
So I'm like, that's cool in theory, but my coffee is chill on my table for hours sometimes. So like
I'm wondering who these people are that they can wake up early enough for work that they have 35 minutes.
good game, for real. Good life.
Like, I'm always rushing.
I really want to ask if you guys put your microwave put your coffee back in the microwave, warm it up.
do.
Because that's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be like, oh, 30 minutes.
do.
Oh, I didn't drink my coffee. Okay, I'll just put it in the microwave. I'll set another 30-minute timer. And then it will go cold again.
Yeah,
I'll just warm it up
as
again.
well.
That's exactly how it works, dude. I've done that. I've actually done that multiple times as well. So
The only thing stopping me from doing it right now is that we don't have a microwave anymore.
So you have no choice.
It's just like a never-ending cycle of like hot and cold coffee and tea. Just...
Until you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a new one because I don't know if I can keep warming up this one. And then you're like, yeah.
And then what happens again? And then what happens again? You have the answer.
The same thing, exactly the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I asked him, like, I don't know, good tip, but also,
Yeah, that does make sense actually. Well, I guess it works for them. It may work for others, but as collectively we all let our drinks go cold, I guess it's not going to work for us. So I don't know what to do with that research.
I'll have to give it a try and see.
Oh my god. So Minxie and Jahdai, do you have any tips on maintaining a healthy gaming session and to help snap out of hyperfocus? For example, I've been thinking that maybe I could start setting like alarms on my phones. On my phones? I'm not rich. I've got one phone. What did I say? Oh my god. Yeah. So, for example, I thought maybe setting alarms on our phones, so when it happens to pop up on your phone, it could say something like, have you eaten, have you gone to the bathroom, etc. Because I noticed that there's that little fill-in box that just under the alarm, so you can kind of just type what you want. So I kind of thought that maybe something like that might be helpful. Do you two like have any ideas of, or like things that you use, or any other ideas that you think would help kind of create a more healthy gaming session?
I think, yeah, for me, I'm more in the preventive measure sides than like actual like mid-session things. So for me, it's really like I avoid gaming on most weeknights, which, you know, drastically reduces my gaming time in life, which is sad, but I also like keep a sleep schedule. Like you know, I have to make a choice there. And if I do end up gaming on a weeknight like that, I usually have a 2-hour block, like 7 to 9 p.m., let's say, because by 7 I've had supper. And between 7 and 9, it's like harder to be like neglecting bathroom or whatever. Like it's not that bad to like hold your pee for 2 hours, you know, if you really want to. Now, obviously, that 9 p.m. cutoff can be missed, especially if the game is good. But then that's why I also try to choose games that offer me opportunity to stop more often. So like Stardew Valley is one of my favorite games, but each in-game day, is 15 minutes long. So every 15 minutes, I have an opportunity to like stop, close my game because it saves every like end of day.
Oh, I like that.
So I have an opportunity at every 15 minutes to stop if I really need to. So I can be like, oh, okay, just one more day then. And then like, obviously I can save one more day, like 5 times, but you know, at least I have that opportunity. Or a game like Zombie Army 4 or like Left 4 Dead, where you have like safe houses as checkpoints. Again, opportunity to stop and be like, you know what, I'm a bit tired. I don't think I can make it to the next safe house, you know, and then like stop. And then other than that, like I said, it's like I have to prep like my bottle of water. If I know I'm gonna have a weekend of gaming, I'll try to like cook in advance kind of thing and have just like zap a bowl in the microwave food that I can just like
oh, I like
between
that idea.
my session. Yeah, because that way like even if it's just like you have ramen and you can put water to boil for 3 minutes, maybe your water will go cold once or twice. But like like at some point something easy or quick needs to happen, and then like I try to set that up so that it's available-ish. Obviously,
Yeah, no, I really like those. I've never really thought to do like, have everything prepared before you start, but it makes a lot of sense because one of the blocks that comes in for me when I haven't eaten is if I haven't eaten, it's usually because I don't have any idea what I want to eat or what there is
Oh
to eat.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if you're there thinking, oh, I need to eat, but like what do I eat? And your game's right there. It's like obviously you're gonna go to the game because
you're
that's
just
easy.
gonna keep
It's easy.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it. So yeah, no, that makes a lot. That would be really helpful. You said about the water as well, like making sure that's just there.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Like if it's right there, then like just
You
sip
can
it.
just like go through
Just
it,
have
take a
some.
sip. Yeah, exactly. But like it's still, you still have that preparation is still an effort in itself. So it's not just like, oh, just prepare in advance. It's like you have to be like,
It sounds like an easy fix, but it can still take a lot of effort to make that decision in the first place. But I think for me personally, it's easier for me to think, okay, if I want to play this game, because I kind of know, like, if I'm gonna start playing this game, that it's gonna eat up my time. So I'm like,
yeah.
okay, make sure everything's sorted first. But
Absolutely.
obviously there are times where you could just slip into it and you don't even have the chance to think about it. So
Yeah. And those days
found
when that happens, like my partner helps me a lot. He's also ADHD, but he'll just be like, oh, because obviously he's hungry. He's like, babe, food, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, food.
Yeah.
And then I have to stop. Yeah.
It's so easy to forget, which is really weird because like food is amazing. Like, why am I forgetting to eat? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
so
I enjoy
food
eating.
motivated. I
What
am
is
so
wrong with me?
food motivated. I don't understand how it works. Like to be so
Yeah.
motivated by food while also skipping so many meals. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does not compute to me.
Precisely that. But no, another thing I found, like how you mentioned your partner kind of helps with that. I noticed when I'm at uni and I have to like regulate everything by myself, I slip into these habits a lot easier than when I'm at home because like my
Same.
mum, my family will start getting to bed. A lot of the time they'll like, switch off the lights downstairs. So it's like I've got that kind of visual cue and I'm planning to kind of use that when I go back to uni. I've got the smart bulbs that you can like set a time for them to turn off.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
planning to get one of those so that it turns off automatically at like the evening time where I should be getting ready for bed, and it's something that I can't ignore because it's dark.
Yeah.
So that should be enough to kind of remind me, okay, it's time to get to bed.
Those
That's a
visual
really good
cues, yeah.
That's a really good idea. Also, like, I don't know if it's really bad that like I brought like a water bottle that like is attached to my phone and it has like a little puck in the bottom and it measures like how much water is in there and it sends you reminders to drink and it also lights up and it glows like multiple colors, and ever since I've got it I've been drinking more water, and I try to remember like if I am gaming to try and bring it with me. It's also insulated so you can keep your drinks cold for like I think it's like 12 hours. It's not a cheap bottle, but since I got it, I have been drinking more, and I love the different colors you can get because you can like customize it, and it's like, hey, well done, you did this. Also, you get achievements. That's probably why I like it.
Actually,
this sounds like the bottle ever. That is the bottle ever.
Right? Like, can we have a link? I want a link.
I could send it. Like seriously, like it gives you achievements. It'll be like you've saved this amount of plastic from like the sea. You've drank this amount of water that could fill this place, or blah blah blah. And like when you like when you meet your daily goal, you get this confetti that flies up across the screen, and it's like, well done, you drank all this water. And I'm like, I love it.
This is the energy we need for this little things in life.
I'm such a sucker from confettis as well, so I'd be like, yay!
Yeah, right.
More!
Yeah, party time.
That's exactly me. I love it. Since I got it, it's been great. It's called Hydrate Spark. But I feel like I don't want to say their name. I'm like, sponsor us, sponsor us. Yeah, anyway.
Hey, sponsor us.
Yeah.
But to our listeners out there, do you have any tips on how to snap out of hyperfocus and maintain any healthy gaming sessions? If you do, we would really love to hear from you. So feel free to tweet us your tips by tagging us on Twitter at ADHDbabes. So let's do like a mini recap on what we've learned. So we've learned about what hyperfocus is, which is good because I don't think I really knew much about hyperfocus, and I kind of found that I would just get locked into things. But that was before I knew I had ADHD, and I didn't realise that that's what it was. And that's like kind of how it happens, and it can happen with things that you enjoy, just or even just tasks that kind of like distract you from everyday things. So we've learned about what hyperfocus is. We've also learned that it can also affect, when it comes to like gaming and stuff, it can affect our bodies in terms of body functions and time. So we forget things, and we kind of neglect our bodies a bit and forget to do the simple things like go to the bathroom, eat, keep up with appointments and stuff like that. We also talked about plans and tactics to help us avoid / reduce the effects of hyperfocusing. So, Minxie, what would you say you found interesting today about, like, considering all the stuff that we've talked about, which has kind of been a lot?
Honestly, it's like it's a little bit more of as like a self-reflection, or like looking at myself versus like what I heard, but find myself to be a lot more conservative with my gaming than like most out there in some ways. And I'm like, like, am I like over limiting myself? So I feel like maybe there's a question there for me where I'm like, am I trying too hard to avoid harm that I may not even like end up, anyways, that's where I stand right now, because I'm like, yeah.
It's good to have some self-reflection, but I kind of feel like with you are kind of quite wary of your gaming habits, which like some of us might not be. So you're kind of like I'd say you're kind of like a bit on top of it. If that makes if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're saying me all these things, and I'm like, why am I not doing this? What's going on? Oh my god, I could do that. Wait, what? So I clearly need to get some tips from you, because I don't know what I'm doing. All I'm doing is just gaming.
Honestly, I feel kind of the same
on
as
the
well.
Discord.
What did you say?
I feel similar. I feel similar to you, because Minxie's saying that they feel like they're limiting themselves a lot, but the fact that they've got techniques and strategies to help with when they do, I feel like kind of balances that out. Like for me, it's like I am, because I didn't really have any strategies. It's like I'm not playing games because I know I don't have the time, or a lot of the time it's because I'm tired, or like I won't be able to stop myself. So it's like learning that there are more measures I can put in place to allow myself more time has been really good for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you today. I have to agree. I have learned a lot, and then that the 35 minutes coffee thing doesn't work. So yeah, gonna scrap that one. So I'd just like to say a massive thank you to both of you for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. And it was lovely to talk to some fellow gamers. So I absolutely love that. So
absolutely love it.
It's great.
Yeah, it's been fun.
So would you like to tell the audience how they can get in touch with you? Like Instagram or anything like that? Or fair. That's also fair.
I'm on the Discord of the ADHD Babes group, so if people want to talk gaming, I'm there, but in general, you may not.
I quite like that. You're like, no. I'm okay.
Yeah, no, I'm on the Discord as well.
Yeah.
I don't have anything really gaming related. I just have like a public art account on Instagram, but I don't really update it that much.
Yeah. But that's still cool though. Like what's the Instagram name? Show us.
Jahdai_illustrations.
Awesome.
That's JAHDAI_ just illustrations.
Cool.
I'm kind of nervous sharing it around, but I'm not gonna get anywhere if I don't.
That's true, but that's okay, like, to be nervous about that, but, like, you know, put it out there. You never know.
Yeah, no, I need to put myself out there.
There you go.
I relate to that, though. I opened, like, an art Instagram with the intention of posting things, and it's still at 0 posts, so...
Very, very
I relate to the, like, yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
But that's like another thing with ADHD though, like having to schedule things and like remembering, okay, you start the account, but then you forget it. Just like you can with games, is you'll start a game and then something will happen and you'll go to something else and you're just like, I don't even know what I was playing anymore. I didn't even know I had that account. I don't know what's going on. Don't forget, you can reach out to us with a message for our Dear Babes advice episodes. You can send us a voice note or a written message by clicking the links on the show notes. If you'd like to join ADHD Babes or learn more, you'll find the links to our website and our social pages in the show notes, as well as visiting ADHDbabes.com. Thank you for listening and catch you next time. Bye!
Thanks for listening to this episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. If you're a Black woman or non-binary person and need help and support in managing your ADHD or advice on diagnosis, please visit ADHDbabes.com. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. Join us in 2 weeks for a new episode. Until then, all the love from the ADHD Babes team.